Well, you can ask a duck hunter and they'll tell you this season has been tough. Brand new duck data is shedding light on just how low our duck numbers are and what's needed to turn the season around. Wake Up Central's Skot Covert dives deep into the numbers with Arkansas Game and Fish in today's Outdoor Report.
All right, it's Saturday, which means it's another edition of the Outdoor Report, joined as always by Trey Reid from Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. A lot going on. It's the holidays, but hunting season continues across Arkansas. Look, everyone knows that has any interest in waterfowl that our numbers just haven't been great. But you're actually able to quantify some of that this year.
I can quantify that, Scott, and I can tell you that it is as bad as you think it is.
Yeah.
Maybe worse.
Maybe worse. So what do the numbers show?
So our guys flew aerial waterfowl surveys December 4th
So just to not
11.
take anything for granted, for someone that doesn't know, we get up in airplanes.
Yes.
Your scientists fly around.
We do,
and count
it's
ducks.
and we've done it the same way since 2009. It's a computer program spits out randomly like transect lines. They're east-west lines.
Okay.
We fly, and I'm talking about in the Delta. We also do this in the River Valley as well,
Sure.
but it's a much smaller survey there. So fly back and forth, and there are marks on the window of the airplane and on the strut of the airplane, and you fly at 500 meters and you count everything in between those lines. Even if there's ducks above or below those lines as you're looking out, you don't count those.
A scientific way to get a good count.
It is a scientific way to get a good count.
Okay.
We've done it that way since 2009. This is the lowest December count in the history of the survey since 2009.
It's not surprising to anyone that has either hunted or has talked to hunters. We've known those bird numbers are low. Part of the big reason why, it's got to be the drought.
It is. I mean, if you look at the U.S. Drought Monitor that comes out every week, I mean, Arkansas, we've had some rain. We had some rain at the end of October, and then a couple of other rain events. Hopefully, some of this rain we're getting this weekend is going to help. But I mean, essentially, the eastern third of the state, the Delta, where the ducks come, is where it's dry.
And we've gotten those 1 to 2, occasionally some pockets of 3-inch rains, but the ground is so dry, and it has been for so long, it just soaks it up like a sponge.
It does. We need the super soaker. We need that 4, 5, 6 inches of rain over 2 or 3 days that really, floods the Cache River, the White River, gets water in all the ag fields. But Scott, I mean, like, for instance, I think the total count, and this is a population estimate, right? I mean, it's not an absolute number, but it's less than 500,000 total ducks. Even worse than that, mallards typically make up a little over half of that count. There's only less than 80,000 mallard population estimate at 18% of the total. Both the mallard total and the total duck number are both the lowest we've seen since we started these transect surveys in 2009.
Concerning numbers, but the fact is there's only so much you and I can do, and without rain, the ducks just don't have the habitat.
That's it, man. And it's also important for hunters to remember that, we started with a low number. The mallard count up on the breeding grounds this year was the lowest it had been since 1993, so a 30-year low, so we didn't start with that many. They've been hunted, in more northern states between now and then, and it's dry here. Now, look, if we get rain, we're going to get some ducks.
Sure.
But boy, we need that rain, Scott.
This weekend system not only providing some rain, I think it's also going to provide some snow up north, so maybe that pushes some down our way, but it doesn't matter, probably because the dates this weekend are a little bit different this year.
They are. Very good point. We have been for the last number of years closed on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day for the second split before the final segment of the season starts. This year it's a little bit different. We are also closed the 26th, so don't go out Tuesday morning duck hunting because the season is closed. Which is different than it's been the last number of years. The reason for that, Scott, is, basically federal frameworks dictate when we can start and end our season. We can't go past January 31st, so we start there, back up. We've got 60 days to play with, and, everybody wants the season to start that Saturday before Thanksgiving, so you just have to cut days out. So we had to take one more day for this Christmas split this year, so that's the reason behind that.
Makes sense. Talking about Christmas, it's also an active time for you guys and some habitat work you do every year.
Yeah, man. If you've got a live Christmas tree,
you want them.
We want them, man. Let's turn those into fish habitat, catch a crappie off of them come March or April. Go to agfc.com, and we've got a list there of places where you can drop them off. Even if you're not going to make that habitat yourself, drop it off, and anglers can go by, pick those up, pick up 8, 10, load the back of the pickup truck, get some cinder blocks, some paracord, create a great fishing spot for this spring.
A great fishing spot. I always enjoy driving by some of those drop-off locations. You see the big mound of used Christmas trees, and
good to see them being recycled.
That's exactly right. If we're going to cut a tree down, let's at least recycle it and put it back into some fish habitat. Okay, lots going on. We hope for more rain. We hope for more duck numbers going into this last half of the season. And we hope everyone has a good Christmas. We'll see you guys back here next week for another edition of the Outdoor Report.